Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining. So just before we start, remember that you can see the stream in different platforms like YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, and Twitch. This live stream will be recorded and it will be saved in YouTube if you want to refer to it in the future or you want to share it with anyone. Also, we'll have a Slido running for you to give us some insights and ask any questions directly to the speaker throughout the event. Okay, without further ado, hi, everyone. Thank you for joining and welcome to the Product People live stream event. Today's session is about product monetization tactics and will be presented to us by Sona Dagesyan. So before I hand it over to Sona, I would like to introduce myself and Product People. Oh, sorry, I'm at the wrong. Here you go. Okay. So I'm Mia. I'm your host today. I have experience working in real estate, edtech, marketplace, and as of September 2023, I've been with Product People as an associate product manager. So let me give you a little bit of insight into what we do at Product People. We do interim product management and product leadership. We also have one of the largest PM communities in the EU with more than 33,000 members, and thanks for being a part of it. Before I let Sona take the stage, I would like to hear from you. So if you had to choose one unconventional way to boost product revenue, what would you bet on? Please go to the Slido links shown on the screen to show your answer, and then we'll discuss. Keep on sending in your answers. Okay, looks like we have enough answers to form some conclusions now, so let's look at the results. All right, so creating a premium members-only version of the product is the winner here, with 70% of you voting for this option. All right, thanks for sharing your answers, and now I'll introduce our guests for today. So I'm very happy to welcome Sona. Sona is the Director of Product at AVIV Group. Thanks so much for joining us, Sona. We're really excited to hear about your topic, and I'll hand it over to you now.
Thank you very much, and very happy to be here today, and thank you for the invitation. So what we'll be speaking today is about mastering product monetization and pricing. I guess I'm very excited about this topic, and this is one of the most critical aspects whenever one is crafting a product, because we know that whenever we solve customer problems, we want to make sure that this is also helping the business to grow and helping to grow the revenues in the organization and the profit margins. So I've been doing product management for 17 years now. And mostly I was also very much close by the touch points of the segments where we were monetizing the customers the most. So I've had to learn within these 17 years a lot, and I decided this is an interesting topic to also share with the audience today, with the product people, so that every time we're looking into solving a problem, we choose the right one, and we understand how solving this problem helps the business to grow. By end of this session, you will walk away with some hopefully actionable strategies to unlock new revenue streams and optimize your monetization efforts. This is the agenda for today. So we'll be speaking about why monetization matters. We'll be speaking about core monetization tactics, choosing the right tactic for yourself or for your organization, unlocking the new revenue streams, successes and lessons to learn, and some Q&A, of course. So why does it matter, right? Why product monetization matters that much? And apparently, no surprise. We all know that great products are the ones that solve the customer problems, but also help the organization to grow. And monetization isn't purely about extracting the value. It's about translating the value you are creating into a higher willingness to pay for your customer, hence higher revenues. because the more you are creating value for your customers, the more you increase the loyalty to the brand, and the higher are the chances that you end up being in a safe revenue pool rather than in the churn bucket. And my strong belief is that every time, whenever you want to do your product monetization right and you want to grow your revenues, you need to have enough portion of innovation multiplied by actionable data insights, the right pricing in place, and this is more or less the path or a simple equation to sustainable revenue growth. So it's not only about transactional aspects of it. It's about creating the culture and creating the value that you as an organization is able to capture in the end. There is a great example that I want to bring. The Dollar Shave Club. They were not just selling razors, right? They sold the convenience, they sold the humor, they sold the community. So the monetization was completely mirroring their value proposition. And it was not only about like putting a price tag. So why, if certain organizations are successful doing that, why others are failing, and how we can make sure we're learning along the way and we're tackling it the right way. Our goal as a new service, we should make sure is also building monetization strategy that feels organic to our customers, that they are not threatened by the fact that, again, another price increase without any value delivery for me. And it's been proven already that companies with strong monetization strategies see 30% higher usage retention. And one of the greatest examples of all, back in the time, the Blockbuster was another great example in the DVD rental space back in America. Selling an experience, right? But there is another. So it was very cost-heavy business to run, and how Netflix was able to disrupt the whole market is about the fact that they looked into the cost factor of that. They had disruptive innovation in place, so they walked away from simple DVD rental. So it comes back to the equation I have shown you already earlier, is about enough level of innovation, good pricing strategy, and definitely looking into the cost structure aspect of that as well. So what are some common and well-known, already proven existing models and how we can surround that? Here I have listed several of them, might be more definitely. But one great example is freemium model, where customers are able to access your basic products for free, and then the premium. So again, another approach to go. The advertising monetization, very much related to different ad models being used by YouTube. Then licensing or white labeling APIs, similar like Twilio or Segment, being used in the market. And of course, the pay-per-use, the example could be the AWS. And the point is here, how do you understand what is the best monetization framework for the product you are working with? Understanding the strategy, understanding the industry where you are operating in, understanding your company's so far operating model and main core monetization frameworks, and making the best decision of all. And here is where it comes that you can really do different tactics and different scenarios whenever you are selecting your monetization framework. And I again want to go with some examples because I think examples speak the best. How you can understand what is the most common monetization framework for your type of organization or your type of product. And one example of those are if you are operating in the B2C app space, you might consider moving towards freemium app and ads model, which will also cut any kind of entry barrier costs or high bounce rates for you as acquiring new customer base. If you are more B2B software as a service organization, then you might consider having subscription models and some licensing across. If you are an e-commerce organization, you might consider having different kinds of bundles with opportunity of cross-selling. And if you are a media platform or media organization, then you might consider hybrid ads plus subscriptions. And another great example of those, for example, is Amazon Prime bundles, where you have your shipping included, you have streaming included. It's kind of all-in-one subscription. So it creates immersive value for the users. And then they are not thinking twice whether it's worth to pay for the bundle or not. So this is the great thing that we have to learn, how to do this the structure right, and how to, on top of the structure that we have in place, the framework that we have in place, how to deliver the greatest value to the customers that they consider a fair price to pay for the services they are getting. So what value they are being delivered with versus what price they are going to pay. And on top of like standard revenue streams that are out there where we're operating in, there is always a limit, right? You cannot grow the prices for the same services again and again and again. It comes a time when product people are asked to increase revenues, but however, you see that you are reaching the limit. Yeah? You are reaching the ceiling, and there are difficulties to how to operate next, or how we can improve the revenue pools even more if we are not delivering additional big value to our customers. And here is where it comes, where product people need to think wider and need to have better understanding of, okay, what is the value chain of our customers, how we can make the value chain of a user longer, how we can make the lifetime of the user with our products and services longer, what else can we offer them. And in other names, this is also called like unlocking the new revenue streams. So let's speak a bit about that. How we can unlock more revenue streams that will allow us to generate additional pool of revenues on top of already the core revenues that we are already generating. And here as well, several tactics or recommendations or well-known options to go about. So let me bring your attention to some of those. One, of course, is the bundling approach. Whenever you have several services in place and you are able to kind of construct them in a constructive way in different bundles. So with that, you are growing the units of sold per particular product, and you are able to reach larger addressable audience. So that's one tactic, and this is why many organizations start bundling different services and features that they are crafting along the way, putting them together and putting like a discounted price on top of the bundled offers. The other good opportunity could be the partnerships, right? We have seen this also happening a lot in both digital space or in digital products or physical products. Like co-branding is a good opportunity. We have seen this with Starbucks and Spotify, Adidas and Gucci, and many more. So partnerships is another good opportunity to have limited time deals or limited time product offering in place that will increase once again your addressable audience, and will attract the attention of the users that you are working with. Another great opportunity, and I would say it's still very much under monetized, is the data monetization aspect. Even though we're in this very, very heavy space where AI, ML models, everything is taking over. However, I have seen very, very few number of organizations that were really nailing it with data monetization. So data monetization can become a very powerful aspect whenever we're trying to build new and additional revenue streams and making our customer decisions smarter and more actionable. So understanding the data, crafting it better, turning data into actionable insights, market insights, is a great opportunity for every organization to create additional revenue pools. And of course, keeping in mind here the all GDPR aspects and all of that, right? So we understand we are not sharing or selling any PII data to any third parties, but still we can craft so many great products with putting data into the heart of it. Other great opportunity is user-generated content that we somehow skip or don't look into it very, very heavily, but user-generated content is a great opportunity for us to create additional revenue streams or to attract, again, more customers towards our products and services. And last but not least, listed here are emerging trends, like how we can bring AI personalization in place, how we can do more Web3 integrations, and many more. So whenever we speak about revenue pool increase, it's not only about increasing the price for the same services we are providing. It's all about getting creative. It's about creating something even more meaningful and even more beautiful and even more useful for our customers than what existed yesterday. And isn't this exactly the job of a product person? To my understanding, it is. Some of the best practices of the organizations, they really crafted it well with their monetization strategies. Is of course one is Spotify when they came with premium plus subscription model, and they have reached for about 50% plus conversion rate to their paid products. This was like one of the great examples of all times. Another great example of licensing, switching to licensing and software as a service, was Adobe Shift, which was risky back in the time, but completely paid off because it was fully focused on customer needs. Then, of course, Amazon Prime with their bundling approach, which 200 million customers plus. Isn't this a great success? It is. And the next one potentially can be your organization, can be a product you are working on and product you are crafting. So just look into opportunities and look deeper into the responsibilities that are on your table to better craft the product and better create the strategies for your organization, and get away more and more of the standard inflation price increases that a lot of organizations are doing, and this is not helping customers at all. However, this is easier said than done. So there are a lot of challenges along the way, because crafting monetization, product monetization, crafting product pricing is not an easy job. So I want to bring your attention towards potential pitfalls and potential solutions that you may keep in the back of your mind every time you are working on product monetization. So one very commonly made mistake is over monetization. Whenever companies or products do not look heavily into their customers' willingness to pay or price sensitivity before increasing the price point on the price tag. So I would heavily recommend you to use a lot of different tactics to do better willingness to pay studies and understanding the price sensitivity. And there are quite some really good pricing models in place that you as product people can also encourage together with your research teams to be worked on. One could be, for example, Van Westendorp model together with conjoint analysis. The other could be Gaber-Granger with MaxDiff. And these are both like survey-based research techniques that allow to understand what is the acceptable range of the prices that can come as a price tag to your individual product or feature. It allows you to understand what is the too expensive and too cheap pricing that you can put for a respective product. Another way to go about not having over monetization in place is having also A/B testing on pricing, which can be organized. However, again, not many organizations are yet there utilizing the A/B testing also for pricing behaviors. The second commonly made mistake is optimizing only for revenues without optimizing for user and ignoring the user feedback. So whenever you are aligning your monetization, you are increasing your prices without aligning with the user journey, you are having very big trouble to deal with. And one of the examples of this was Snapchat back in 2017 when they changed and did major redesign of their app, and then that resulted into very unhappy customer base. So first time in Q1 2028, they have seen first time in their operational lifetime the decline in user base, and the company lost over 1.3 billion in market value because of this. So every time when you are neglecting your user experience to optimize for revenues, be ready to also deal with the consequences of that respective operation. Another commonly made mistake is always cost versus benefit, right? So we might create great products and customers might love it a lot. However, what we haven't done as product people is a proper business casing around that, right? So a simple formula that can be used, like how we are going to generate revenue, how we are going to make profits. Are we spending more than we're expecting to receive in return or not? So very often we as product people, unfortunately, not doing a proper, even a fishbone diagram, which would help us understanding where is our profit and where is our loss. So that's another commonly made mistake that I would very much encourage every one of you to look into that properly before saying that we are creating great value for the organization. And another aspect, like we were a very long time already not operating in like standalone world. So we are here with our competitors. So without analyzing the competitor product portfolio and product offering, without analyzing their pricing strategies, it's very difficult to be competitive in that same market. And sometimes we also enter to different price wars, which I would strongly not recommend doing so. So avoid any kind of price wars, because that's not a win-win situation for any of the players of the market. Coming back to the cost and benefit aspect of the things, so it is a very, very simple framework. I mean, definitely product people should go with more sophisticated business cases every time they are operating and working on a product. But very simple one could be like how I make profit out of this new product feature and the price tag I put in place, right? So understanding profit per unit, understanding the units of sold, understanding that's the value that you can potentially capture as an organization, but where to put your price, where are your costs, where are your competitors. So having this kind of decision tree in place to understand what could be the minimal price that will cover all your costs is heavily needed. Otherwise, you might create great products that are great for your customers. However, they are not helping your organization to grow. And I want to bring here a quote from Simon Kucher that I personally find very helpful, is that intelligently managing price structure and levels is the most important topic to secure business success. Get it right and you will thrive. Get it wrong and risk permanently damage to your business. Because excellent pricing definitely goes beyond the price of an individual product, right? It needs to be in line with your strategy. It needs to be in line with your goals. It needs to be in line with the value delivery to your customer. It should be in line with your company processes, and only then you get a price tag. So it's not as easy as it feels. So finding the right price for the right product is a muscle to be trained. It doesn't come as easy. And there are, of course, also different effects that one can use whenever you are especially working on the bundles or subscriptions offerings. You might be using these different effects, again coming from Simon Kucher, very helpful ebook, by the way. There are several pricing effects that influence the consumer behavior. One could be the compromise effect, right? When you have too many options and too many price points, usually customers go for something on average, right? They try to choose the average price they are ready to pay. The other effect, the second effect, could be the utility effect. Whenever, and we have seen this, all of us, many times, whenever we are offered a discount or a trial period, we're more keen to try the product versus when we are not offered those discounts. Looking back to Uber or Bolt, when they started operating, they were heavily offering a lot of discounts and free rides that were definitely helping customers to get in touch with the product, to try it out. So it was really cutting the barriers, the entry barriers, and was helping to gain and acquire a new customer base. The other third effect that can be used is mechanisms like free trials and free opportunities to go with. Because if you are offered a free trial 1 month for free, you are not afraid as a consumer of that product to try it out. So this is why we have also seen a lot of mobile apps, especially initially when they were getting live. You were getting free subscription for initially, even on LinkedIn, right? You get 30 days for free to try it out, and only then you can subscribe to the paid option. The fourth effect is a decoy effect, where you have multiple bundles, but you create one specifically that determines that all the other inclusions that you have in all the other bundles, the feature differentiated models that you bring in place, are more attractive for the other offers than this one. So you create this so-called ugly offer that shows all the other benefits of all the other offers. So initially, when you're doing this kind of decoy effect tactic, you know that you will not get many customers on your particular bundle because you have specifically built it the way to not attract many customers to particular bundle. And the last one is the value effect, right? So our willingness to pay for the same product very much depends on the at the time, at the place, the situation. It's very situational. Like if you are going to a bar, you're a nice bar, you are ready to pay for the same drink, maybe €1 more than if you are offering that or ordering that on the street. So the value effect, the way we package our products, the way we organize our go-to-market strategy around that product, the way we communicate about the product, the way we structure our product marketing around the product is definitely changing our customers' willingness to pay and the perception whether it's a fair price for that particular feature or service or is a high price. Yeah, this was mainly it for today. I will be very happy to connect with all of you on LinkedIn. Below you can see also a QR code which redirects you to my LinkedIn profile. We'll be very happy to connect. And if you have any questions, I'm very happy to take that together with product people here.
Let me share my screen again. We have a link to the Q&A.
I just my Wi-Fi was cutting off from time to time. I hope you were able to follow still.
Yeah, we were able to follow. No problem.
Nice.
Okay, everyone. Thanks, Sona. Thanks everyone for listening. So we'll start the Q&A. So use this QR code, please, to share your questions with us. And yeah, to give you some time to draft and type in your questions, I'll go over a few more slides about product people and who we are and what we do. So here are some typical use cases where our team is best fit to intervene. So interim product management or product leadership, product coaching or consultancy, and product discovery are the three main use cases. And here are just some of our clients that we've worked with before. Some B2B clients as well. And last but not least, some important stats on our company. So here you can see the number of teams that we've supported. So it's 300 with 70 plus clients from Series A startups to publicly listed companies. Right now we have 42 product leaders and product managers staffed at Product People. So we're all full-time and we work in-house, and we join clients and onboard really quickly. And we have 62% of women in the team with 66% in leadership. Okay, feel free to continue asking questions, and then yeah, once we get some, we'll start reading. All right, we have some already. That's good. Okay. Sona, so one person has asked, have you seen a monetization strategy fail spectacularly? What went wrong and what can we learn from it?
I've seen and where I think continuously see that even up to date, especially when there are hard times with hard macroeconomic conditions and situations. It's getting very difficult for the organizations to structure their monetization right, and it very often goes towards like simply enforcing inflation price increases. So that's definitely one technique I would strongly not recommend doing. So continuously going for inflation price increases and trying to convince your consumer base that we are just increasing the prices because there is inflation, because that shows that you as an organization are not capable in working in hard conditions. Of course, markets change, but as a great leadership and as an organization with strong mission and vision, you should be able to craft your road around the way, right? Changing your strategies and changing your path. That's why I don't want to name, unfortunately, companies here. So forgive me, but I won't do that publicly. But that's one of the commonly made mistakes, or simply hiding the price increases, right? Whenever you have like subscription models and you know you have renewal products, and without informing customers that your subscription costs will go high, and then you are like doing hidden price increases. That's very bad. Another tactic that one can use, because it strongly destroys the customer loyalty to the brand, and that's having long-term negative impact on the churn. So you lose more than you gain.
Thanks, Sona. That was very true and really insightful. We have some more questions. Do you see AI-powered or dynamic pricing becoming a mainstream monetization strategy?
AI pricing, I wouldn't say yet, honestly. And I think also there is too much boom and buzz around AI, but none of us has really crafted it properly, and we don't know so the ethics of the AI. So I would not jump into that right away. Of course, it will come. The more AI advances and the more there are like rules and regulations around that, the day will also come. But I find dynamic pricing is a good approach to go, and that playing with the supply and demand game of economics is the right way to go, for example, for dynamic pricing along the way. And customers' willingness to pay is also changing on the situational basis. So depending on your business and depending on your fairness and the value you are delivering, you might experiment with dynamic pricing, but I would strongly recommend doing A/B testing before like shifting completely into dynamic pricing for whole base, because it might also shoot back in not a very positive way. So, but experimenting with that and introducing dynamic pricing, I guess, is a good way to go. And we already see this also happening, right? It doesn't necessarily need to be only in pricing, but like you see even in bookings of the hotels, etc. So it comes with various parameters, of course, in place, but we already see this happening, and we're all already being built by different parameters installed in different pricing models, which are mainly then coming through this dynamic change.
Okay, someone else has asked, what's the biggest mistake that organizations make when they monetize a product? It seems like maybe Sona's Wi-Fi is cut off.
I'm back. You hear me?
Yes, we hear you.
Nice. Sorry, I don't know. It's a bad luck always.
Do you want me to repeat the question?
The third one?
Yes.
Yeah, if you can repeat that, would be great.
What's the biggest mistake that organizations make when they monetize a product?
I would say the biggest mistake they do, at least what I have seen so far, is not understanding properly the cost structure of the product. So very sorry,
we
I'm
lost
back.
you there again.
Yeah. Sorry. So the biggest mistake that companies do are mainly that not understanding and not analyzing the cost structure of the pricing. That's one mistake, and that results either to very high price or underpricing the product. And then if you are underpricing the product, then you are having higher costs, so you are operating with negative margins. And if you have way higher price because you didn't do your business case properly, then you are resulting into customers not willing to pay the price. So I would say proper business casing, understanding all the costs, fixed costs, recurring costs, marketing costs. I mean, all of that, like putting all into the same bucket.
Okay. The next question is, what upcoming trends in monetization should product teams be paying attention to?
From the upcoming trends, I would say it's one idea to go is really the partnerships and data monetization. So I would strongly recommend to look into those two, potential partnerships and data monetization. Those I guess are heavily under monetized and heavily under invested still, however, with very big opportunities.
Hey, Sona. We can hear you. We can see you. Hi, are you with us?
Yes, we're on number
4. So what upcoming trends in monetization should teams be paying attention to?
Yeah, so my advice would be looking into the data monetization as that heavily under discovered and not heavily utilized, and partnerships. So I would say those are, like, in my opinion, the two main trends we can look into.
Thank you. Our next question is, what would be possible monetization strategies to generate recurring revenues outside of subscriptions or ABOs?
That's a very good question, and I have to, I guess, think a bit around that. So one approach maybe would be going with the bundles. Like if you know certain usage behaviors of your customers, if you have done proper segmentation, then that could be one opportunity, or providing, for example, lifetime discounts. That could be another approach, right? So if you agree to spend X amount of money with us, you get a lifetime benefit or a lifetime discount, or maybe not lifetime, but like limited deal. So that could be one approach to secure monthly spendings and subscriptions. Like Nespresso is, I guess, doing that quite well. So maybe looking into that potential perspectives could be a good approach.
Okay, we have one last question, which is, on B2B products, how can we get to know competitors' pricing?
Yeah. So a very good question again. So very often what's happening is like mystery shopping. So trying to get mystery shopping, or whenever you are not operating in like monopolistic market and customers that are partnering with like two platforms, and they might be also sharing with you potentially the pricing that your competitors do have. But mystery shopping is one of the good approaches to go to understand what are the pricing policies of the customers. For publicly traded organizations, you can also look into their financial statements and try to derive from financial statements what could potentially like pricing be. Of course, there is margin of error you will make. You will never have like 100% guarantee that what you get is 100% accurate, but that's one opportunity. And usually your customers, when they come and say, you offer me price A, but a competitor offers me price B. So that's also very known technique in B2B, that customers themselves are sharing the pricing of the competitors as well. Of course, it also comes with a margin of error potentially, but that's also a way to try to get an understanding what competitor pricing can be.
Okay, thanks so much. That was all of our questions. So I just wanted to say thanks so much, Sona, for sharing these insights. It was really informative, and I'm sure I can speak for us all when I say that it was very interesting and we really enjoyed it. So if you would like, we have this QR here to show you, to link to our newsletter. If you sign up, you'll get monthly updates on the latest trends in product management, and you can be part of our community. Yeah, thanks everyone, and I hope I'll see you next time at next week's live stream with Maria Thomas, CPO at Rebrandly. Thanks again, Sona, for speaking with us. We really loved it.